Check, check. Check 1, 2. Yeah. Okay. You up? Perfect. Good job. Hi.
Like, it's better now. I just started going so numb and I, like, couldn't.
Is it a certain part of your foot?
Like, this part.
Welcome in, folks. Div 1 action, North Shore Inline Adult Hockey League. First of 3 games here tonight. We got the Great Guys taking on the Purple Cobras. Goaltenders for the Great Guys is Nick Main, while Grant Anderson getting the call for the Purple Cobras. These two teams try to push their way up the top of the standings in Div 1. As Quinn Abbott takes the puck in his own zone and sends it over to Nate Crema. Crema's hounded. And he'll turn it back. Great Guys still hemmed in their own zone, getting pressured here by the Cobras. Here's Abbott now. Quinn Abbott coming in. Sends it in front, and there's a goal. As Quinn Abbott and who's 68? Kyle Johnson. Who's 68? Great Guys. Just Jackson Ruthen. That's Jackson Ruthen with the goal, opening up in the scoring here tonight. Here's Ruthven weaving through center, sends it back to Abbott. There's a save made by Anderson as Quinn Abbott set up. Was that Barlow Wisen? A quick shot back by the Cobras here. And the Great Guys, led by Shane Purves, will break it out. Now a 2-on-1 for the Great Guys. Sends it across, and it was tipped into the corner. Cobras regroup. Tristan Payne with it now. He starts out. Payne sends it over to 13. No, Purple Cobras. That's Tristan Payne?
No, Liam Payne.
Liam Payne. Quick shot there by the Cobras is put aside by Nick Main. Swallows it up in his equipment. Shots 2-2 so far here. Welcome those watching on YouTube, the millions of people around the world. Thanks for joining us on this fine Friday night from Karen Magnuson Arena here in Lynn Valley, North Vancouver. As a shot by Payne is put aside. And the Great Guys will take it now as Kyle Johnson sends it back to Casey Chin. Sorry, Cameron Chin. And here's a chance by the Great Guys. And a rebound save is put aside. Was that a goal? Excuse me, that was actually a goal. Rebound chance buried away. We're getting our wickets here early, folks, so bear with us. Great Guys up to a 2-0 lead as Abbott takes it. Regroups, starts the breakout. Quinn Abbott comes down the side, holds up, dangles around, pulls into the middle, still with it, Abbott. Now back to Chin. Chin walks in from the blue line. Over to Abbott. Leaves it for Johnson. Here's Kyle Johnson. Sends it across, and Chin couldn't get the shot off. And now he sends it behind the net, but the Cobras will come away with it. As Jared Ing comes up with it now. One of the veterans here on the Purple Cobras sends it over to Gerbach. And the great guys will come up with it now as Johnson and Abbott come to center, 2-on-2. They switch spots. Kyle Johnson takes a shot, saved by Anderson. As the great guys continue, here's a chance in front, and it's a goal again. Believe that was Kyle Johnson sliding it through the legs of Anderson. And just like that, the great guys are up 3-0 early here. Couple minutes into the first period. Great guys out to a 6-3 shot lead. Up 3-0 here. Refs appear to be cleaning up some water on the floor. Little spillage action perhaps from the youth game before. So let's take a look at the Div 1 standings here. We mentioned off the top, great guys sitting 5th out of 6 teams right now with a 3-4-0-1 record, 3 wins, 4 losses, 1 overtime win. Meanwhile, the Cobras, 3 wins, 3 losses, 1 overtime win, and 1 OT loss. These teams separated by a point in the standings. Like we mentioned, first of 3 games here tonight. We got the Grizzlies and Holes later on, followed by the Blazers and White Foxes to conclude the night. As we had a player slip up, but it's the great guys coming with it now. Purple Cobras get it back as Eng sends it around the boards. Cobras down 3-0 here. As Pankratz sends it across. Zach Ozenchuk couldn't bury it home, and the great guys will move it back out. Here's Purves. Shane Purves sends it in front, and that's tried to center it in front, but no one there for the great guys to tap it in. And the Cobras will come the other way. As there's a shot right on and a save by Nick Main. Hasn't been really tested here, but there's another chance, and Main puts it aside as Ozenchuk tipped one on. And the great guys will break it up at 2-on-1 the other way. Here's Nate Crema, sends it in front, and that's tipped aside. And the Cobras will come back now with it. Payne. Here's Payne, cuts through the middle. Has no help, so he sends it on net. And another chance, but Maine will turn both of those aside. Great guys get the puck behind their net. But it's a turnover, and here come the Cobras back in. And a nice save by Maine as he was able to kick it aside. Jordy, who's wearing Harriet? Cobras. Just over 12 minutes to go here in the first period. Nate Crema with it. Oh, nice move by Crema to shake a guy off. Couldn't get the other dangle, but the Cobras will come up with it now as Pankratz comes ahead. Oh, and a nice shot and a nice goal there by Tristan Payne, assisted by Dom. Cobras getting on the board here. Man, he roofed that one upstairs. Not much Maine could do there. Yeah. Chili, come here. You want to take her? Chili, come over here. Back come the Cobras the other way as Pankratz sends one in. But that'll go out of play. Who's the other Castagna? Jordy? You know? Two Andrew Castagnas out there. Neither of him are him.
That's Pankratz, and the other one is probably Nico Gravis.
Okay.
Is he right there?
Yeah. Kyle Johnson comes to center. Leaves it off for Crema. Nate Crema cuts in the middle, takes a shot, and that's just wide and high. Great guys with control. Abbott keeps it in as Crema tracks the puck down, and he'll.
It's not. Gravis is here.
This is Gravis.
Oh, Stevie Castagna's jersey. Yeah, that's Gravis. Yeah.
Okay. And there's a quick shot and a goal by Pankratz. All of a sudden, Purple Cobras climbing their way back into this.
That's not supposed to make me smell. So that's probably not what it's making me smell. Everyone wants to play Sunday.
The game sheet on the website ain't working?
Dylan didn't bring them. I don't know what's going on.
Oh, brutal.
Yeah. For the Ironman, every team that signed up.
Puck shot into the Purple Cobra zone as Anderson leaves it off for Ing. Jared Ing takes it up the middle. Down the side, here's Ing. Leaves it off for Pankratz. Sorry, Payne, excuse me. Now here's Ing, back with it. Jared Ing circles back. Leaves it off for Payne. Here's Payne behind the net. Checked by the great guys, but they'll come up with it now as Chin takes it. And Quinn Abbott now coming in. Abbott, sends it in front. Oh, and that's ripped high and wide by number 11 there. And back the other way come the Cobras. Payne sends it over for Payne. And a save by Maine, and it pops behind the net. Good chance there for the Cobras to tie this one. There's a shot wide. Cobras regroup. Jared Ing. His Cobra teammates will change. Jared Ing takes it back by himself behind the net. Waits for some help. And now sends it back to the point. Here's Payne. Tried to make the pass for Pankratz, but that'll be out of his reach. Payne able to come up with it, but he loses it. As the great guys come to center. Quick shot. Oh, and that just missed by 11? 11. You know?
That was Ben Ruthven.
Ben Ruthven.
Jackson and Ben Ruthven.
Okay. We're learning as we go here, folks. Cobras are in the jaw, and it's Jared Ing back with it. Over to Ozenchuk. Tries to make the pass up for Pankratz, but that will go wide. Cameron Chin, that's center. Sends it down low. Shot, and a nice save by Anderson. As the great guys put some pressure on, here's a quick shot, and that will tipped out. Good block by Gerbeck. Helping his goaltender out. As we get another look at that chance there.
Yeah, but we've had
8:20 here to play. Great guys up 3-2 against the Purple Cobras. As the puck's now in the Cobra zone. Controlled here by Chin at center. Cameron Chin over to Quinn Abbott. Abbott cuts in. Still with it. Regroups. Quinn Abbott still with it. He's got Purvis behind him, but he'll opt it for... Now Abbott with it. Ooh, nice move by Quinn Abbott. Sends it across, and there's a nice goal. Quinn Abbott setting up Kyle Johnson. Was that Johnson? Oh, excuse me, Shane Purves. Hard to read the numbers from here. And here comes Purves in again. Chance for another one, and a nice move and another goal. Shane Purves, 2 quick ones just like that. Giving the great guys a 3-goal lead here again. You're seeing that top-end skill there from Purves as he got Anderson to bite. And that's why he's second in Div 1 scoring behind Elijah Villio of the Blazers. Coming into tonight's game as the great guys come back now with it. Cameron Chin's pressured. Here's Purves again. Does he have a hat trick in him for this shift? He'll send it back to Quinn Abbott. Abbott over to Purves. Coming in, sends it in front, but they couldn't jam it home as the puck will bounce over to Anderson. He'll leave it for Payne now as the Cobras come the other way. Payne showing some speed down the side, sends it in front, and Ozenchuk, oh, he had looked like a stick lifter to the puck was blocked there. Zach Ozenchuk with a chance. Ozenchuk back over to Gerbich. Here's Adam Gerbich with it now. Gerbich sends it back to Payne. Pankratz cuts in. Here's Pankratz, shot, and might have tipped off a defender. Good chance there for Pankratz. Connor Pankratz, a new addition to the Purple Cobras this year as they shuffle up their roster. Nate Crema in his first year with the great guys as they come back and get it in the Cobra zone. Nice backhand saucer pass as there's a chance in front and just out of the reach, but a Michigan move and a rebound goal as the Nate Crema went for the Michigan behind the net. Anderson was down. But the rebound shot in front as Kyle Johnson buried it. And just like that, the great guys now up 6-2 here with 5:51 to go in the first. Some nice puck movement by the great guys here so far, capitalizing on their chances. 6 goals on 13 shots as Crema takes it. Nate Crema playing in Div 2 for Coach's Corner. We'll find it, send it up front. Here's Johnson in front on a shot put wide as Ruthven put that one above Anderson. Cobras come the other way. Here's Payne. Sends it in front. Cobras send it back to Ing. Jared Ing sends it down over for Payne. Payne over to Payne. chance in front as the puck bounces through the slot. Nate Crema able to come up with it now for the Great Guys. Couple nice moves to break it out. Up to Ruthven. Ruthven, back to Crema. Crema with a shot, and he puts that wide. As the puck bounces now, and here's Payne with it. 2-on-1 chance for the Cobras across. Nice save made and a rebound, they score. I believe that was Nico Gravas. Nice save by Maine, but unfortunately couldn't come up with the second one. As the Cobras come back with it now, another chance here. That's taken away. Chance for a 2-on-1. Here's Johnson in front, and a nice goal. Great guys connecting there. Shane Purves, first period hat trick. Great guys pushing their lead to 7-3 here. Cobras, though, outshooting them 15-14, but it's the Great Guys capitalizing on their chances. As Nate Crema starts now. Crema over to Ruthven. Nice move. Loses it, though. As Connor Pankratz comes up with it now. Weaves in. Over to Payne. Payne sends it back to Pankratz. Quick shot, and he just misses. Jared Ing sends it back in. Here's Payne with it now. Over to the point. Puck is centered, but that's picked off by Crema. Chance for a 2-on-1 here. Purvis and Ruthven. Purvis leaves it for Ruthven. And he sends it in front. A nice save by Anderson getting across. Grant Anderson getting that big body of his on the puck as the shot's put wide by Ruthven. Jackson Ruthven, that is. Tilly. Here comes Ozenchuk the other way. Nice tip there by Crema. Ozenchuk, though, sends it back to Eng at the point for Gerbrek. And Payne has a chance. Sends it in front. Oh, nice save by Maine, and he'll scoop it away with the blocker. Quickly played it, though, almost right to Ozenchuk. But the Great Guys are able to come the other way. Here's Ruthven. Sends it down to Purves. He puts on the brakes. Purves over to Crema. Back down to Ruthven as they show a little cycle game. Sends it in front. And that puck ticked off Anderson's stick. And back here come the Cobras. Ozenchuk flips it over to Pankratz. Connor Pankratz cuts in. Quick shot. He can't really get it on, and it's loose. But Maine is able to smother it. Bit of a jam play in front of the net there. Didn't look like an actual shot was taken, though. Nick Maine, he's standing tall here for the Great Guys. 16 saves here in the first period. As the Cobras come up with it now. Here's Gerbrek behind the net, and that's blocked. Great Guys get it back. Abbott, or excuse me, Crema is. Nate Crema. Penalty here. Coming up on the Cobras. Not sure exactly. It looks like it's going to be a hook to Zach Ozenchuk. Normally played Div 2 with the Lot Lizards, Zach Ozenchuk. Trying his hand here at Div 1. as the Great Guys will get their first power play of the night. 4 goals, 5 assists, 9 points in 5 games for Ozenchuk on the year. And Payne will come to center shorthanded. Here comes Payne, sends it across, and he can't pull. Sorry, Grabus. Nico Grabus with a chance shorthanded there. Jared Ing sends it down. And the Great Guys will start out. Here's Crema. Nate Crema. Been a welcome addition here to the Great Guys so far. There's a chance in front and a shot and a goal by Kyle Johnson. Beats Anderson on the power play. Brother of Kent Johnson, Columbus Blue Jackets. Kyle playing at Yale. Make that 8 goals here for the Great Guys in the first period with just over a minute to play. Nursing an 8-3 lead. And here comes Johnson again. Sends it back, but that puck's turned over as the Cobras come ahead. Pankratz. Connor Pankratz. Chance in front. Ooh, that just squeaked through the crease, but Maine able to turn it aside. Kyle Johnson works it back through center. Johnson. Great Guys pressuring here with 30 seconds to go in the first period, but the Cobras will get it the other way as Connor Pankratz has a chance. Kick save there by Maine. And now puck goes the other way as Ruthen sends it over to Abbott. Quinn Abbott has a look, sends it back across. Oh, and that just missed. Tap-in chance there for Ruthven. As the first period comes to an end, Purple Cobras out shooting the Great Guys 21-17, but it's the Great Guys who are ahead 8-3. Not a ton Grant Anderson could do on those goals as the Great Guys show off their elite skill level. As we take a look at the box score, Kyle Johnson, 4 goals in the first period. Shane Purves, 3. How about Quinn Abbott with 5 assists so far? Ben Ruthen, 4 apples. Nate Crema, 3 apples. Jackson Ruthen with a goal and 2 assists. Cameron Chin with a lone apple. Nick Main turning aside 18 on 21 shots. Cobras had their chances there, but Maine was standing tall. Good rebound control. As we wait for the second period to get underway here. Talking about the strong period shown there by Nick Main. Pretty solid season so far for Maine. 3-3 record, 7.99 goals against, and a .728 save percentage, which doesn't sound great, folks, but in roller hockey, Div 1, that's actually not bad, all things considered. Grant Anderson making his debut for the Purple Cobras here tonight. Anderson, one of those guys that will play for just about anyone when called upon. As the Cobras start the second period with possession, and they'll send it back. Connor Pankratz, pressured by Purves. Pankratz will start behind his own net. Pankratz still with it at center here. As he cuts in, goes wide. Now goes behind the Great Guy's net, and he'll center it over for Payne. Payne sends it back for Grabas. Nice move there by Payne. Cobras still in possession, although not getting a lot right now. And there's a turnover as Shane Purvis comes to center. Breakaway chance. Purvis looking for his fourth shot and a save by Anderson. And here's another chance in front, and Nate Crema buries it. Breakaway chance by Purvis put aside, but Nate Crema was there as the trailer, giving the Great Guys their 9th goal of the night as they take the 9-3 lead. Always go hard to the net, folks. That's what they teach you early on in minor hockey. Clean up that garbage in front, and that's what Nate Crema did there. As the Cobras try to get something going, but quickly turned over here. Here's Ruthven now in the Cobra zone. Sends it for Purvis down low. Crema comes up with it. Sends it back to the point for Chin. Cameron Chin, one of the veterans here on the Great Guys. Nate Crema. Puck is turned over, and Chin comes up with it. Chin with shot and a save by Anderson. As Cameron Chin walked in off the line and tested Anderson, who was able to cover it up. Graybeck and Ruthven on the draw as the Great Guys come up with it, and Nate Crema has it. Swings it over to Abbott. Quinn Abbott tomahawks his way in. Abbott sends it in front, and that bounces into the glove of Anderson. Face off to the right of Anderson is won by the Great Guys. Ruthven intercepted by Ing, and he'll just send it ahead, but that bounces off the hand of Pankratz as the Great Guys come in. Here's Crema. Nate Crema cuts to the middle, shot, and that's just put wide. As Pankratz will come to win it, one-on-one against Abbott. Nice stick by Quinn Abbott there. As he tries not to turn it over, but Purves gets it now. Shane Purves, nice move into the middle. Rips it wide, though. Trying to go blocker side on Anderson, but Great Guys come up with it again as Quinn Abbott, pressured by Gerbeck. Purves comes up with it. Sends it over for Crema. Crema through the middle now. Nate Crema sends a shot on, and that's kicked aside by Anderson as the rebound bounces out to center. Abbott over to Crema. Nate Crema slows it down. Weaves over to the far side. Sends it for Purves. Here's Purves. Trying to get it inside on Gerbeck, but he did a good job of closing off the lane. Now Purves cuts back to the middle. Shane Purves turned over as the Cobras are able to come up with it. Ozenchuk. 2-on-1. Ozenchuk and Ing. Zach Ozenchuk sends it across for Ing, but that pass was too high into his shin pads. Eng able to come up with it, though, as he sends it back to center. He'll go off for a change as Pankratz takes it back into his own zone. Connor Pankratz providing some offense here for the Cobras the last couple of games. Payne tries to work his way in. Oh, almost a highlight reel goal there, but it's the Great Guys who come up with it. As Quinn Abbott has Ruthven in front, across, and he couldn't quite get it over to his stick. As the Cobras will turn it the other way. Payne. Puck's behind Maine now. And the Cobras will come up with it. Here's Pankratz. Nice move. Oh, but he couldn't quite get around Kyle Johnson as Johnson sends it ahead for Abbott. As the Cobras get it back in their own zone now. Pankrats. Connor Pankrats starts it now. Over to Payne. Down low to Payne. And that puck's turned over by Abbott as Ruthven sends it. Here's Kyle Johnson. 2-on-1 chance with Quinn Abbott. Johnson sends it over. Shot. Oh, and that just missed. As Anderson was stretched out on the 2-on-1. Quick chance transition up ice. Here comes the Cobras, and they'll get one back. Believe that was Liam Payne going the other way. Quickly put it far side on Maine. Cutting the Great Guys lead to 5 now. As Liam Payne will come back with it now again. Weak shot put on by Maine. As the Cobras have a chance. Here's Jared Eng. That shot's put high. Ozenchuk over to Eng. Jared Eng sends it back to Payne at the point. Puck's deflected, but Cobras still have it behind the net as Ozenchuk tries to go for the Michigan. Boy, we've seen 2 Michigan attempts here so far. None successful, we might add. As Nate Crema will come the other way. Crema 1-on-2, nice move, and what a goal by Nate Crema. He deked 2 defenders on the Cobras. Did it all by himself. Oh, what a goal by the BCHLer Nate Crema. As we get another look at it here. Puts it through the legs and then puts it past Anderson. Boy, oh boy, some top-end talent on display here, folks, as here come the Great Guys in. 2-on-1 chance. Purvis across and another one. As Kyle Johnson was able to put that one home. Set up by Ben Ruthven. 2 quick ones here for the Great Guys, making it 10-4. Here's Zhang now into the Great Guy zone. Kyle Johnson comes back with it. Johnson going 2-on-3 here. Sends it down and easy save there by Anderson on Ruthven. As Jared Ing now will come up with it. Leaves it off for Connor Pankrats. Connor Pankrats makes a move around Ruthven. Pankrats works in on Kyle Johnson, and he's appeared to be tripped up, but he might have just fallen as a puck centered in front, and Shin will come up with it. Nate Crema coming in now. Crema puts it through the legs of Ozenchuk, and he tips it back to center, and he'll regroup. Crema, he's got Purves with him. Quick shot by Crema, and that's put aside by Anderson. As, almost a too many men chance there. Looked like Ruthven wanted a change. And there's a chance in front now for Crema, but that's just bounced wide. As the Great Guys come up with it, Shane Purves in front to Chin, and he'll lost control of that. As his chance in front, and Ruthven can't beat Anderson. In all alone there. Great Guys, though, still in possession as Quinn Abbott has it now. Over to Purves. Purves makes a move. Purves shot and a goal as he beats Anderson on the far glove side. Excuse me, over the glove. Another goal for Shane Purves. his 4th of the night. Shane Purves as him and Johnson torch the Cobras. Tilly. Want her? She's pretty heavy. Tilly, come up here. Hey. Come here. Great guys leading the Cobras 12-4 here with just under 9 minutes to play as Payne comes up with it. Nice move around Abbott, but he can't get a chance on. And here come the great guys the other way. 2-on-1 chance. Here's Purves in front for Ruthven, and the puck skipped on him as Pankratz gets it back now. Connor Pankratz cuts in. Pankratz puts it on his forehander. That's just wide. As Payne comes up with it now. But the puck is turned over as the great guys will start up ice. Cameron Chin. Over to Ruthven. Ruthven sends it in front, and that's deflected wide. But the great guys still have it here as puck centered, and that's deflected. Chance for Purvis, looking for his 5th, and it just skips over his stick as Payne comes up with it now. Cameron Chin over to Purves. Tips off Ain, but it's Chin who'll take it. Purves over to Ruthven. Nice move. Ruthven cuts it in front over to Purves, but he roofed that wide as the face-off will come out to center here with 7:30 to play. We've reached the running clock hour with the great guys nursing a 12-4 lead. Chance for the Cobras is just put wide. As Purves has it now. Over to Crema. Crema up to Purves. Here's Jackson Ruthven. Shot, and that's just grazes off Anderson and high. And the puck goes the other way. Here's Payne in alone. Oh, nice save by Nick Main. Stretched out the glove as he was down and out to rob Payne, but Quinn Abbott comes the other way, and the shot just goes wide. Abbott gets it back. Abbott over to Crema. Nate Crema walks in. Shot and a goal. Man, it looked like Anderson was leaning off his post there. Might have been thinking a pass was coming, but Nate Crema was able to throw it on the ice, beating him on the short side. Great guys up 13-4. Just under 6 minutes to play as they've taken over on the shot count now, 35-26. 31-26, excuse me. Kyle Johnson bouncing puck, but it's Jared Ing that has it now. Ing over to Pankratz, excuse me, and he'll overskate it. There's Abbott now with a chance. And that shot's put by Ben Ruthven. Crema sends it off for Abbott. Here's Quinn Abbott with a shot, and it's a nice goal. Quinn Abbott walking off the line, beating Anderson blocker's side. As the great guys continue to pick their corners on Anderson. 14th goal of the night. As the clock runs here. Kyle Johnson gets it back off the draw now. Nice touch over to Ruthven. He cuts down the side, and he's checked by Gerbeck. Tripped up, no call. As a Puck is centered in front by Johnson and a save by Anderson. Jared Ing gets it back in his own zone now. Ozenchuk back to Ing as the Cobras break it out. Over to Gerbach. Nice save by Maine. Rebound too, and he'll get that as well. He kind of shoveled it aside as the great guys will break it out now. Kyle Johnson over to Nate Crema. Crema on Ing. Turns it over, and the Cobras will go the other way. It's Pankratz. Connor Pankratz toe drags around and loses control as the great guys get it back now. Kyle Johnson, 3-on-2 chance. He's got Crema. Back to Johnson. Over to Ruthven. Back to Johnson, and lost control of it as it made its way into the crease. Anderson able to take control of it. Great guys with 33 shots now. 14 goals on 33 shots. Picking their spots here tonight on Anderson as Chin has it. Payne try to tip it around. Here's a 2-on-0 chance. Payne over for Payne, and a big save by Maine. Nick Maine. Man, he hasn't been too busy tonight, but when called upon, he's been very solid here for the great guys. Chance here for the Cobras as Payne puts one high and wide. And the great guys will take it. Here's Chin at center. Sends it down, and Anderson will tip it to the corner. Well, Nate Crema comes up with it. Chin back over to Crema. Crema comes out, sends it across, and puck bounces, but Anderson can't cover it as the shot's put wide by Abbott. With 2 minutes to go here in this first of 3 matches, Karen Magnuson Arena. As Payne comes down, sends it in front, and a goal as, I believe that was Pankratz in front or Payne? Liam Payne putting that one home for his third of the night. In garbage time, as they say. But it's never garbage time here at Karen Magnuson. It's always a good time, folks. As Nate Crema spins in his own zone. 2-on-1 chance here for Jackson Ruthven. Perv switches sides with him, and they lost control of it as the Cobras break it back the other way. But Nate Crema comes up with it as the puck bounces in the zone, and Connor Pankratz comes with it behind the net. Final minute of action here. Great guys up big, leading 15-4. As the shot's put off the side of the net there by Payne. Breakaway chance here for Pervs. Pervs in, and that just goes wide as Cobra was able to come back and negate the chance. Pervs with another chance, and he puts it high, but Anderson able to stand tall. Final 30 seconds here. As the clock winds down, Pankratz puts that one wide. And Pervs will have a chance here with 10 seconds to go. 2-on-1 with Crema. Over to Pervs. To Crema, and there's another one. Make it 15 on the night. As the clock winds down, the great guys suffocating the Cobras here tonight. Final score 15-5. As we check out the box score, Quinn Abbott leading the way, 1 goal, 7 assists. Kyle Johnson, 5-goal night. Nate Crema, 8 points, including 4 goals and 4 assists. Nick Main turning aside 25 on 30 shots. As we wind down this stream, we got more action coming up here as the Grizzlies and Holes will square off. New stream link coming, folks, so this one will end. Has it ended?
Not yet.
It hasn't ended yet, but make sure you join us here for the upcoming game as we got more North Shore inline action coming up. It's the Grizzlies and the Holes.